Welcome to a Reviews Without Remorse shortcut.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of Reviews Without Remorse. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new movies and television shows, to seek out the flaws and the strengths of our favorite content, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. In the decades prior to the legendary adventures under the command of Captain James T. Kirk, Captain Christopher Pike, Number 1, and Lieutenant Spock lead the crew of the Starfleet flagship USS Enterprise on its 5-year mission of galactic exploration. Created by Akiva Goldsman, Alex Kurtzman, and Jenny Lumet, based on Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, Season 1. This is the show I've wanted to see since I was 11. I love Captain Christopher Pike. I've always felt that he was one of the most legendary yet underutilized characters in all of Trek lore. And this show has captured the spirit of Star Trek that I love. The original series, the William Shatner films, and The Next Generation, better than anything that they've put out in the 21st century. This is some of the best Trek I've ever seen. Just like the original series, there are adventure episodes, there are some comical episodes, and then there are a lot of episodes that delve into some deep philosophical questions. Some of the highlights: there's an episode very, very similar to the film Alien called All Those Who Wander. There's an episode called Lift Us Up Where Suffering Cannot Reach, which reminded me of some lessons in moral philosophy classes that I took in college. Spock Amok, if you're a fan of the episode Amok Time, and the Season 1 finale, A Quality of Mercy, which is an offshoot reimagining of another one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek, Balance of Terror. So this is really the Star Trek that real fans or fans of the original series would recognize and enjoy. Most of the episodes are self-contained, but there is a narrative through line. You could pick up one episode and watch it in a vacuum like classic Trek, but it does reward you for watching it in its entirety and in order. There is a bit of a story arc, but it's not forced. And there's a cliffhanger ending at the very end of Season 1 that I think rewards you for watching the series in order and really whets your appetite for Season 2. I'm going to have to plow through Season 2 really quickly to be ready in time for Season 3, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. Some of the strengths: the characters. Captain Pike. What a terrific captain. Like I said, he's one of my favorite characters in all of Trek lore. And where Captain Kirk is a master tactician and Captain Picard is a diplomat, Captain Pike is a leader. He's the type of person who puts the lives of his crew before his own safety and his own fate. He knows what will happen to him one day, and anybody who has seen the Star Trek two-parter, The Menagerie, should know as well. But he still presses onward for the good of his mission and the good of his crew. I'm not sure if Uhura should be here. It might be a little bit forced to put a familiar character aboard the Enterprise just to satisfy some fans. Dr. M'Benga, it's a nice callback to the original series, but it really should be Dr. Boyce, if we can believe some of the Star Trek episodes that featured Captain Pike in the original series. Where is J.M. Colt? She should be Captain Pike's yeoman. And then there are some other smaller characters from the original series who make appearances, like Nurse Chapel, like Sam Kirk, and a few other ones that I will not spoil because they really do make an impact and they make a Star Trek fan smile. Some of the questions that this show explores really do make you think. Questions like, what is fate? What is ethical? How do our decisions influence our futures? Familiarity with Star Trek does help a little bit. It takes place about a year after the events of the original Star Trek pilot, The Cage. I'm not so sure that you could pick up Strange New Worlds having never experienced any Star Trek whatsoever and enjoy it as much as I did. That's not really a flaw or a nitpick. That's just knowing something has been around for a long time. Star Trek is a property that's existed since the early 1960s, and I think it's just become such a part of American pop culture that everybody sort of has a passing familiarity with it. Having said that, I do think that this is a show made specifically for Star Trek fans. My one criticism of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I guess you could call it my Who Asked You, is I had a hard time really caring about some of the new members of the Enterprise crew who were not characters that I knew from earlier Star Trek iterations, namely Captain Pike, Lieutenant Spock, and Number One. The rest of them, it took me a while to really get to know these individuals, and frankly, I had a hard time really caring what happened to them. But now that I've been with them for a whole season, I've gotten to know them a little bit, and I'm a little bit more interested in knowing where their stories go, but I really am watching this show for Captain Pike, Number One, and Lieutenant Spock. Overall, Star Trek Strange New Worlds gets a 9 for me. I need to power through Season 2, so I'll be ready for Season 3 in a couple of weeks. If you want a rollicking yet cerebral adventure, hit it.